Padres come north to take on the Wildcats in the beach game. Chuck Rapp is back. The longtime Serra head coach missed last season with a surgery. He has been the Serra head coach since the year 2000. The Padres come in with a 12-7 record overall, and the Padres are 4-5 in league play. Serra has won 3 in a row, including a victory over St. Francis about a week ago. The Cats have been struggling. SI comes in 12-7 overall, 5-4 in league play. Rob Marcoletti's team has lost 3 in a row, including a 76-72 loss at Sacred Heart Cathedral on Tuesday night. Casey Murphy, class of 77. We have sophomore Will Simons. Junior Vicente Molina is here tonight. Sean Lahan, of course, class 87. He gets us on the air. Jason Penarelli from the Cube is here tonight. Ray Balcura, Alex Hall, and Ronan Kramer are going to join us later in the broadcast. So, Vicente, we're going to start with you. SI, I mentioned 3 losses in a row. They got to turn it around tonight.
Yeah, 2 keys for the SI offense today. Look for consistent shots. We don't want to force any bad shots. If we do, we'll continue to build the bad habits. Secondly, they got to run the floor and get the easy transition buckets. You know, when you're in a dry spell of wins, you got to get the easy buckets in order to win. So if they do so, they'll be able to build confidence in rhythm on the floor, and hopefully that transitions over to the defensive side.
Yeah, the defensive side, they gave up 76 points to Sacred Heart Cathedral the other night. Serra's not a high-scoring team of that nature. Serra had traditionally plays great defense, so it's up to SI to get off to a good start and play better defense than they did on Tuesday night.
Yeah, they did. And both likewise. Good offense leads to good defense leads to good offense. We just need SI needs to come with an intensity here on Friday night, and I think they will here. Rivalry game, big crowd, see what they do.
So, Will, Serra, you know, they were 1-5 just a couple of games ago. They're the exact reverse of the Cats. They've won 3 in a row, including a victory over St. Francis. So Serra at 4-5, but they come in hot tonight.
Yeah, and Parker McDonald's been a huge part of that for Serra. He's really their best player on offense. If you remember last year in the Jungle game against SI, he had a long 3-pointer to beat SI at the buzzer. And Serra really had a shot to beat SI earlier this year at the Jungle game. They if you remember, they were up at the half, and but SI came back and won by 9, I believe. So Serra had a really good shot at beating SI, and it'll be interesting how they do on the road here at SI.
So SI won that game at Serra. It was the first time they won at Serra since 2012. That was back on January 12th of this year. In what they call the Jungle game, SI won that game 70-61. The Jungle game started in 1975 because the great coach Bob Drucker said one night, "Man, it's a jungle down there." And Serra ran with that comment from there. Hey, tomorrow night the SI girls are going across town to take on the Sacred Heart Cathedral girls on Ella Street on the campus of Sacred Heart Cathedral. Both teams are 3-2 in league play. That's going to be a great game tomorrow night. So Sean Lahan then, he had a chance to sit down with SI girls varsity basketball captains Alyssa Downs and Georgia Madden to talk about how the team is like a family.
I'm here with 2 senior captains of the SI girls basketball team, Alyssa Downs and Georgia Madden. So girls, let's talk about last season. Take us through your most memorable moments, and we'll go to Georgia first.
My most memorable moment from last year is we took a trip down to Reno to play in a really good tournament, and I think that tournament really helped our team really bond together, and there's still girls from last team on there, and we took that family style of basketball into the season, and I'm really excited for this season.
Alyssa?
My most memorable moment would have to be the West Coast Jamboree win that we had last year. We were kind of down on ourselves before that, and then coming into the tournament, we didn't have Mike, I believe, for one of the games, so Gus was our head coach, and we really got together, played together, and we pulled out a win, and that gave us a lot of confidence for the rest of the season.
So what are your expectations, and what are you looking forward to this season? We've already played a little bit of it, including a Bruce Mahoney game, so let's go to Georgia.
So coming into this Bruce Mahoney game our senior year, it was extremely important to us to win because since our freshman year we haven't won. So this was a really big game for us, and we went in there and we just played our hearts out and we got the win, and that was so special for us.
Both of you had really big games, especially from 3. So Alyssa, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, like what Georgia was saying, we both grew up watching SI basketball and specifically the girls basketball side of it, and it was always been one of our dreams to play in that game. And for our last year to go out, play our best, play together, and just feed off the crowd and feed off everyone else, it was just it's like an indescribable moment, and I always relive it in my head.
If you guys could model your game after any NBA or college player, who would it be and why?
Klay Thompson, because he's a great defender, and although he's not maybe he's not the most standout person on the Warriors, he is so valuable to our team. He gets a quick shot off. He's so amazing on defense, and I really want to play like that. So
I would have to say Katie Lou Samuelson from UConn. She's a 6'2" shooting guard basically, and Gino has really recreated her game from just being a shooting guard to being a big post player, big presence in the key. And I think with my outside shooting abilities and my inside game, I think I'm sort of like her, but not on as big of a level.
Tell me something about one of your teammates that inspires you.
Natalie Tufuli inspires me because she came back from a torn ACL injury, and that was really, really hard for her. And I know that really put an effect on her. And she came back, did rehab, and was so strong, and now she's playing, and she's just helping our team so much. So that really inspires me.
One of my most favorite teammates to play with would have to be Maddie. She is the most energetic and outgoing person on our team. She's always working hard, always sprinting up and down the court, talking on defense, and when Coach Mike or Coach Gus or any of our teammates go and give her feedback or anything, she always takes it and improves and tries working on it in the next play, and she always has a positive attitude.
So describe SI girls varsity basketball in a few key words or in a sentence.
SI basketball for the girls team is definitely a family way of playing basketball. We're all best friends. We hang out before practice for hours because we're here all day, and we just have a really tight bond and a really good friendship within everyone.
Hello, I'm Performing Arts student Samantha Reardon, class of 2019, and here's your winter and spring 2018 SI Performing Arts calendar. On February 2nd, in the Choral Room, it's the annual piano recital. On March 22nd and 23rd, in the Bannon Theater, it's SI Cabaret, featuring a collection of Broadway musicals. From April 19th to the 21st, and from April 26th to the 28th, in Bannon Theater, we present the SI Spring Musical, the popular and Tony-nominated Legally Blonde. Then, on May 2nd through May 4th in Wiegand Theater, it's the visually inspiring Spring Dance Concert. And also, in May, from the 10th to the 12th in Bannon Theater, it's the Spring Pops Concert, featuring SI Choral, the SI Orchestra, the SI Jazz Combo, and the SI Jazz Band. For more information, additional performances, and tickets for all events this winter and spring, log on to siprep.org and click on Arts. That's siprep.org and click on Arts.
We're back here at Bob Drucker Court, McCullough Gymnasium, about a minute away from the starting lineups, game prayer, and national anthem. We'll take a quick look around the WCAL. We'll focus on the boys as the Serra and Wildcat boys teams are playing tonight. Bellarmine Bells finally lost in the WCAL. They still lead the league with an 8-1 record. St. Francis is 7-2. SI and Mitty both 5-4. Mitty's been hot lately. The Padres, they were 1-5 a couple of games ago. They're now 4-5. Sacred Heart Cathedral had that win over SI on Tuesday night. They're 3-6. Reardon and Valley Christian are both 2-7. Big night at Reardon tonight. Sacred Heart Cathedral at Reardon, and they are dedicating the floor at Reardon tonight. Kevin Rastani floor. Kevin Rastani, a great basketball player at Reardon High School, went on to play at USF. 8 years in the NBA, 8 years in Italy as a professional basketball player. Tragically passed away to a heart attack back in the year 2010. He's a Hall of Famer at the Olympic Club, and the court at Reardon will be dedicated to Kevin Rastani tonight. SI played there about 10 days ago, and the court is absolutely spectacular. So big game tonight on Phelan Avenue, the Irish and the Crusaders. Mitty is at St. Francis. Valley Christian is at Bellarmine. We have a special event tonight. And Reese Duffy, a 6th grader from St. Cecilia's, will give us our national anthem. Aiden Bainfield will give us our game prayer. And let's go down to the public address announcer, Steve Pertil.
Tonight, Bob Drucker Corps plays host to the visitors from San Mateo, California, the Padres of Serra High School, and your St. Ignatius Wildcats. Before the start of tonight's game, we'll begin with a prayer, followed by the honoring of America. At this time, we ask that you join us and stand as this evening's prayer is led by St. Ignatius Senior Aiden Banfield.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let us remember, loving God, bless the Catholic communities of Serra and St. Ignatius, and all the schools of the West Catholic Athletic League. Keep us free from injury as we compete, and remind us of our mutual mission to love and respect one another. St. Ignatius, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We ask that you face the flag at the north end of McCullough Gymnasium, as here to honor America by singing God Bless America is St. Cecilia's 6th grader, Reese Duffy.
That was Reese Duffy with God Bless America, and Aiden Banfield gave us our game prayer. And now Steve Pertil's going to give us our starting lineups for tonight's game, and it looks like Darian Trammell is in the starting lineup for the Wildcats tonight. But first, the Padres.
A senior, number 23, Paul Bess. A senior, number 24, Denzel McCollum. Senior wearing number 5, Colin McCarthy. And a senior wearing number 10, Henry James. And now let's meet the starters for your St. Ignatius Wildcats, as announced by head coach Al Marcolay. Introducing to you first, he's a senior captain wearing number 5, Matt Redmond. A senior captain wearing number 22, Brandon Beckman. The man in the middle, a senior wearing number 54, Teddy Slater. In the backcourt for the Wildcats, a senior wearing number 2, Neal Schon. And a senior captain wearing number 13, Tommy Jones. The Wildcats are assisted by Alvin Thomas, Jehovah, and Paul Burke.
So there's your starting lineups for both teams. For the Serra Padres, Colin McCarthy, he's a senior. Henry James, a senior. Parker McDonald hit that big shot last season in the Jungle game. Starting, he's a junior. Paul Bess is a senior. And Denzel McCollum, also a senior for the Wildcats. Darian Trammell, the leading scorer for the Cats, he's a senior, co-captain Matt Redmond, the senior. Donovan Jones, another co-captain. Brandon Beckman, a third co-captain, also a senior. And Teddy Schneider, who had a huge game against the Irish the other night with 25 points, is the man in the middle. Teddy Schneider is a junior for the Wildcats. And we are underway. The first possession, Darian Trammell saves it for the Wildcats. Trammell had a big game against Sacred Heart the other night. He scored most of his points in the second half. Here's Trammell in the corner. 18 seconds to shoot. Redmond now. Teddy Schneider's a little further away from the hoop than he maybe wanted to be, but he's able to get to the basket and score. So Teddy Schneider breaks the ice and the Cats lead 2-0. This is Parker McDonald bringing it across the timeline for the Padres. And a lob to McDonald, but Brandon Beckman is there for the steal. Here's Redmond. Redmond's going to go hard to the bucket, and he's going to float it in.
What I tell you, defense leads to offense. There you go.
SI, 2 early shots up close. That's really where they thrive. Both their front court and their back court.
SI enjoys taking the three-point shot as well, but 2 out of 2 from inside so far. And as Vicente said, that steal led to a bucket. This is Henry James. James working it against Donovan Jones. Here's Darian Trammell with the steal. Coast to coast, Darian Trammell. It's goaltended. That basket will count, and the Cats are off to a 6-0 lead.
You can feel it. The SI offense and defense is just feeling the backs of their SI crowd right here, their fellow Cats.
And Trammell is so quick. He seems like he just comes out of nowhere on some of these super athletic plays.
2 steals already. Parker McDonald gets into the key. Darian Trammell blocks the shot. McDonald saves the possession. Paul Bess had a touch for a moment. This is Denzel McCullum in the corner. Denzel McCullum with a pass to McDonald. McDonald goes baseline, forces it up, no good. And it's a strong rebound from Matt Redmond. Here's Donovan Jones. Beckman going hard to the basket. Kick out Redmond. A 3-ball. Too long.
It's okay, that was an open shot. Good to do.
Colin McCarthy got the rebound. I like the inside to outside pass. You feed that outside shooter from the inside and often does create a nice shot. And there's a solid drive to the hole by Denzel McCullum. The senior scores for the Padres, their first bucket of the game. Here's Trammell to Redmond. Beckman now. He's going to shoot a 3 and nail it. Cats off to a 9-2 lead. A 3 from Beckman, a bucket from Trammell, a bucket from Redmond, and a bucket from Schneider. The Serra basket was scored by Denzel McCullum. Cats off to the fast start that we were hoping for. Good defense by SI. Henry James is in real trouble. Matt Redmond on the floor. 12 seconds to shoot for the Padres. Parker McDonald doesn't want that look. Now they're at 8 seconds to shoot. McCullum's going to get into the key and lose it out of bounds. SI basketball.
Boy, this is a different team than we saw the last 3 games. SI defense coming to play right now.
Yeah, they're coming in with such an intensity. I don't know if it's the crowd, with the level of this game, or just Mark Aletti said something different before the game, because they're really playing well on defense right now.
Dylan McCarrick checks into the ball game for the Padres. McCarrick's a senior. This is Redmond to Beckman. Had a look for a moment, didn't want it. Now he's going to go left-handed to the hole. Beckman has 5. And now we have a whistle and a timeout. Chuck Rapp is going to use an early timeout. 4:41 to go. Cats lead 11-2, guys. SI off to that good start that we were hoping for.
Very well. They're stifling the Serra offense. They're not getting any space, room to function, and it's really getting under the skin, as you can tell.
Yeah, like Vicente said, they're driving Serra insane, especially Chuck Rapp. A couple times I saw Chuck Rapp like halfway onto the court on that last possession especially.
Chuck Rapp, the longtime coach. He's a Serra graduate. He graduated from Serra in 1986. He's been the head coach since 2000. I mentioned that he missed last season. He had a hip replacement, I believe. It was a surgery of some sort. But he's back on the sideline. He has won the WCAL 3 times. He's won the CCS 4 times. He's won the NorCal twice, and he had a state championship with Serra back in 2016. Coming into this season, his WCAL record was 150 wins, 70 losses. Overall, coming into the year, 335 wins, 142 losses. 9 times his Padres have had 10 or more victories in the WCAL under his tenure. So Chuck Rapp, class of 86, great to see him patrolling the Serra sidelines back after missing last season. And by the way, guys, he will spend a little bit of time out on that court.
Yeah.
Here's Colin McCarthy. Lost the ball for a moment, got it back, and now Colin McCarthy is going to get to the foul line.
This would be a game of a bunch of little battles. Little battles in the paint, little battles outside. Whoever wins the most is going to win this game.
Serra also subbing off Parker McDonald early, which is an interesting move.
That foul was called on Brandon Beckman. Colin McCarthy hits the first. By the way, Serra's football team had a heck of a year this year. They won the WCAL, they won the CCS, they won the NorCal, and they won the state D2 AA division. They beat Cajon from Southern California's in the finals. So 2 out of 2 for Colin McCarthy. This is Donovan Jones. SI to make some substitutions on the next dead ball. Darian Trammell for 3, short. Out of bounds, Padre ball. For the Cats, Neal Begovic, who's been playing very well lately, checks in. He's a junior, and also junior Ren Robinson checks into the game for the Wildcats. Teddy Schneider is going to come off the court. Donovan Jones also to the bench. And now we're going to say that that ball was tipped. So it will be an SI basketball. Now we have to know what is on the shot clock. The shot clock has to be adjusted because that ball did not hit rim. So it'll be 18 seconds on the shot clock. Paul Waters working the clock for SI, as he always does here. Sitting next to our public address announcer, Steve Pertil. Here's Beckman off the inbound. Too long. Begovic working hard. Neal Begovic again. Begovic couldn't get it to go, but working hard on the offensive glass. McCullum with a beautiful pass. Colin McCarthy lost his footing for a moment. It looked like he was going to have a layup, guys. Instead, he has to throw it off a Wildcat out of bounds. It'll be Serra basketball.
Yeah, credit to Begovic. He didn't get the result he wanted on the offensive end, but he's always hustling back on the defense, and hustle wins.
D.R. Usel into the game for the Padres. Matt Redmond playing some terrific defense. Henry James. There's Makarag. He goes right to the basket and scores. McCarrig with the bucket. He's got 2 points. Beckman, Trammell, Neal Begovic. He turns, goes to the basket, too strong. Begovic working hard on the boards. Gets his rebound and lays it in. Chance for a 3-point play, Neal Begovic.
Right now, look for SI to get Begovic going. The SI's got advantage with him on the floor. They got length and height over Serra right now.
Yeah, and Begovic has already had a couple of chances down low, and it seemed like Serra was playing good defense to make him or force him to make tough shots.
Dyer Usel picks up the foul. That's his first. No good on the free throw. Begovic gets the basket, but not the free throw. Cats lead 13-6. Serra working a weave out in front. Both teams substituting freely. This is Makareg. He gives it, oh, nice pass down low. Going to the basket is Usel, and Usel gets his first bucket of the game. He's got 2 points. Darian Trammell getting to the basket. He's going to be fouled. Darian Trammell, now we'll see if it was in the act. It looks like it will be called in the act, so Darian Trammell will shoot 2.
It's good to see that. Trammell saw there's nothing there. He drove in, trying to go in for contact, and he got it.
Ben Davis will check into the game as Darian Trammell misses the first free throw. Brandon Beckman with the break. He's got 5 points in the first quarter. Ben Davis is a senior. 1 out of 2 on that trip for Trammell. He's got 3 points. Cats have a 6-point lead. Parker McDonald.
That Trammell-Parker McDonald matchup will be very interesting to watch throughout this game, too.
Yeah, it's very interesting right there. Neal Begovic helps out with the block. Neal Begovic with a big-time play. Now here's a wide-open look from the corner. Shooting it too hard was Usel. Here come the Cats. Trammell. Ren Robinson now. Redmond. Darian Trammell is going to shoot a long 3. Nice box out that time by the Padres. That's Colin McCarthy with a very solid rebound. And Usel gets it stripped away. Ball loose on the floor. Here come the Wildcats. Ben Davis, and he's fouled.
Boy, this defense is something else right now. This defense, and it's leading the offense, as you can see.
Yeah, at least 5 turnovers for SI, maybe more. It seems like every other time down the floor, SI is playing very great defense to force a turnover and get back down the court to score a bucket.
Parker McDonald picks up the foul. 3 team fouls on Serra, 1 on the Cats.
What's good about all this good defense and tenacity over here on the home side is that it grinds out the offense. They're not getting any hope here. They're getting grinded out. They're losing their strength right now as the game will go on.
Donovan Jones checks back in. Here comes Brandon Beckman to check back in. Ben Davis, 2 out of 2 from the foul line. Ben Davis averages about 3 points a game. He's got 2 here in the first quarter. This is McCarrig. He gives it up to McCullum. McCullum has some room. Parker McDonald now. This is Williams Choa into the game for the Padres. He loses the ball. Brandon Beckman going to pull up foul line. Off the front rim and no good.
That was a forced
strong
shot.
Rebound by McCarrig. McCarrick's going to go all the way to the bucket, and the ball sticks. It'll be a arrow situation. Serra will keep the basketball.
These next couple of possessions will be very interesting for both teams before the end of the quarter with a little under a minute and a half to go. Serra's going to try and get a couple of buckets to really get back in this game, but SI can pull away.
Daniel Dunleavy checks into the game for the Padres. And Dunleavy has the ball, working against Ben Davis. Now it's Denzel McCullum. This is McCarrig, back to McCullum. McCullum pulls up. No good, but Teddy Schneider got too close. Kind of a closeout, and Teddy Schneider got him to the foul line. Will be Denzel McCullum. Second team foul on the Wildcats. First foul on Schneider. And Denzel McCullum will go to the foul line to shoot 2. McCullum can't get the first one to go. McCarrig played well while he was in there for the Padres. Colin McCarthy replaces him. Another free throw for Denzel McCullum. One out of 2. McCullum has 3 points. SI with a 7-point lead. Beckman. Teddy Schneider working down low. Falls away with a little 6-footer. Teddy Schneider playing very well. He has 4 points.
Boy, that was beautiful. You can see the confidence oozing at him right there on that shot. He knew what he was going to do, and he did it.
He had a huge game against the Irish the other night in that loss on Tuesday. Schneider with 25 points in that game. Working baseline is McCullum. Now it's Colin McCarthy. McCarthy finds himself open from the foul line, and he drains it. McCarthy's got 4.
SI crowd's really getting into this game, and they're trying to really get the momentum going the SI way. really get the home court advantage for the Wildcats.
The shot clock is turned off. SI looks like they want to hold it for the final shot of this first quarter. SI leads by 7. A little weave in front. Ren Robinson with 10 seconds. SI doesn't want that shot yet. Here's Beckman in the corner. He's going to have to force one up. No good. The rebound working hard. What a play by Ben Davis. Can't get it to go. Teddy Snyder with a try at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. We've played one. It's the Cats 18, the Padres 11. You are watching the SI Sports Network on the High School Cube.
Steve Lavaroni, Class 69 from the SI Alumni Office here. This 2018 spring, we have a number of fun events for alumni, parents, and friends. Our first spring affair is our downtown business lunch with guest speaker Colin Stretch, Class of 1987, at the Julia Morgan Ballroom. Colin is Vice President and General Counsel for Facebook and recently appeared on TV during Senate and House hearings concerning foreign influence in the 2016 election. On Friday, March 9th, the annual Arizona-New Mexico chapter gathering happens at Giant Spring Training in Scottsdale. The Class of 1968 celebrates their Golden Diploma with festivities the weekend of April 6th. The total weekend celebration concludes with a mass and a family brunch at SI on Sunday, April 8th. The Admiral Daniel Callahan Society will hold their dinner on April 25th in the Carlin Commons with a guest speaker. The third annual Red and Blue Campus Crawl takes place on Saturday, June 9th, with a progressive party on the SI campus. This popular event will include our craft beer garden, tasting pavilion, Alums of the Year awards, and dancing with an assortment of tasty bar bites. For more information about these and other alumni events, go to the alumni page of the SI website at siprep.org. That is siprep.org/alumni. Go Cats!
We're back here at Drucker Court. Will Simons is going to help us out in other areas. Alex Hall on the air. What do you think of the first quarter, Alex?
Well, SI started off very strong. They start off with a great lead. And the Parker McDonald, Sarah's best player on the team, he's been shut down by Darion and the rest of SI. Sarah's been pretty cool, but they have gotten help from the other players on the team. So we'll see how SI does in this half.
That was a nice drive to the bucket by Matt Redmond on a set play. Matt Redmond has 4 points in the game. SI with a 9-point lead, but there's a good look. DR Usel with that bucket from the outside. He's got 4 points in the game. So both teams start with a bucket. Here's Ren Robinson for 3.
Boy, would it be good to get him going. Ren Robinson, once he gets it going, you can't stop him.
Ren Robinson with his first bucket in the game. He's got 3 points. This is Henry James. Matt Redmond playing terrific defense here in the first half. This is Usel. He kicks it out and a pass goes out of bounds, but it's deflected. Padres have 15 seconds to shoot.
SI's been playing really good defense this game. I've been really surprised.
3 losses in a row, and Rob Marcoletti has them ready to play. Again, great defense by the Cats. A 5-second violation. That's a turnover. Give it to the Cats. Ren Robinson will bring it across the timeline. Beckman for Redmond. Darian Trammell for Beckman now. Back to Trammell. Gets into the key kick out to Beckman, but he really wasn't in a good position to make the pass, so it's a little wild on the pass, and it goes out of bounds. McCarrick working for the Padres to bring the ball across the timeline. This is Henry James working against Matt Redmond. Henry James with the right-hand dribble. Trouble. Darian Trammell kicks it away. Redmond, a pass for Schneider. Schneider has to run it down, and he's out of bounds before he can try and make a play. Nice play by Trammell, and a pretty good pass by Redmond. Led Schneider just a little too much.
Yeah, Sarah's been giving up tons of turnovers this game. Tons of turnovers, and SI's been getting points off those turnovers.
Yeah, it feels like the SI defense has had the ball in their hands more than the Serra offense has.
Teddy Schneider runs the floor well, but that pass a little too tall. Ben Saiufi into the game for the Wildcats. An open look from Usel. He can't get it to go. Beckman with a solid rebound. Gets it into the front court. Brandon Beckman with the quick hands able to secure the ball. Here's Begovic for Trammell. Matt Redmond didn't want that look. Beckman thought about it. Now he's going to shoot the three. Beckman has 8 points to lead all scorers. Cats by 13. Colin McCarthy. Now it's Danny Dunleavy with it. Serra really having a hard time cracking the SI defense. They're playing a bit of a matchup right now. Ben Sayufi steps out on Colin McCarthy. It's 10 seconds to shoot for the Padres. Here's McCarrig, and he throws a loose one. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a Padre ball, but only 6 seconds to shoot for Serra.
It's okay. We're okay. It's okay. I think Marcoletta would be okay with that. Right now he isn't, but right now the outside defense is really continuing its intensity over from the first quarter to down.
Parker McDonald hasn't scored yet. He checks back in for the Padres. 6 seconds to shoot. Parker McDonald's got to go. He goes in a hurry. He gets to the basket. Great defense by Neal Begovic. Altered the shot. Trammell with the rebound. Beckman into the corner. Ben Sayufi's a good three-point shooter. Ben Sayufi with his first bucket. He's got 3, and Chuck Rapp needs to use another timeout. 29-13 Cats, 4:58 to go here in the second quarter. By the way, the SI men's varsity soccer team last year in the 2016-17 season, they were the CCS Open Division champs. They were the WCAL champions, 13-0-1. They set a WCAL scoring record with 58 goals. Their one tie last year was to Serra, and they play Serra, by the way, tomorrow afternoon. The current record for SI is 10-0-3 in league play. The Wildcats are 23-0-6. That's a 29-game unbeaten streak since last season. So big shout out to the SI varsity boys soccer team. They had a tie against Mitty the other night. They beat Sacred Heart Cathedral about 10 days ago in a doubleheader. Both the boys and the girls beat Sacred Heart Cathedral that night. So shout out to the boys soccer team. And right here, guys, SI off to a great start with a 16-point lead here in the second quarter. Padre basketball. Chuck Rapp has used 2 timeouts already. Rob Marcoletti has all 5 of his. And a turnover. It's an illegal pick. Colin McCarthy. First foul of McCarthy. 14 fouls on the Padres.
Padres just look flustered out there. They can't get anything going.
Trammell across the timeline. Bit of a matchup for the Padres. Here's Beckman. He gets into the key. A little lob for Neal Begovic, but he can't get it to go. Colin McCarthy playing some defense. He gets the rebound. McCarthy's going to drive on Begovic. Parker McDonald had a look. He didn't want it. McCarthy does want it. It's off the rim. Neal Begovic clears. Here's Trammell. Terrific cross-court pass. Ben Sayufi, 2 out of 2.
SI's been really lucky with the 3-ball today.
Ben Sayufi off the bench has 6 points. SI's lead is 19. Here's a long 3. Off the rim and no good. Danny Dunleavy couldn't get it to go, and now a sloppy turnover. Really the first real sloppy play by the Cats tonight. They just give it away in the backcourt. It'll be a Padre ball. Beckman and Redmond go off.
Besides that turnover right there, the SI offense has been really taking open shots and forcing the Serra offense to take contested shots, which sounds simple, but in essence is pretty hard.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but you're right. It is really hard. Ben Davis in for the Wildcats, as is Ren Robinson. Here's a look down low, and I think Darian Trammell got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. That foul will be on Darian Trammell, his first. And really good defense. SI not fouling either. They only have 3 team fouls midway through the second quarter here.
That's what's so great about this defense right now. They're playing really tenacious and fierce on defense, but they're not fouling anyone. They're not getting calls.
Henry James is going to kick it down low for Colin McCarthy. Back to James. Parker McDonald. McCarthy's going to shoot a wide open 3, but it's offline. Nice rebound by Ben Davis. Trammell, tried to get it to Begovic. Padres knocked it away. Good defensive play by McCarthy. Colin McCarthy goes into the lane, puts it up and in. So Colin McCarthy scores. He's got 6 points to lead the way for the Padres. SI with a 17-point lead. Paul Bess into the game for Serra. Jump shot from Ben Davis is no good. McCarthy gets the rebound. Darian Trammell got called for a reach. Parker McDonald was trying to make a move. Darian Trammell thought he had a steal. He gets called for the foul. 2 on Darian, 4 on the team. Usul checks back in for the Padres, replacing Paul Bess. This is McCarthy working against Ren Robinson. Padre going baseline, force up the shot, no good. Usul can't get it to go. Darian Trammell. Timeout. SI uses a timeout. Rob Marcoletti didn't like the way that play was developing, so he uses it with 2:19 to go in the second. The Cats have a 17-point lead.
Yeah, you can feel the Cats are playing with rhythm. Like I said, when you get your defense going, your offense will start to go, and once you get a rhythm established, you can't really stop it.
Yeah, Serra's getting unlucky with the lost shots. They saw a lot of open threes, but they couldn't bank them at all. But they got that shot earlier in the game, so let's see how they do this at the end of this quarter.
So don't forget, at halftime, Sean Lahan had a chance to sit down with the SI student body president, Michael Lundgren, and the progress made on starting a women's sports rivalry trophy series with Sacred Heart Cathedral. Of course, the Cats and the Irish, they have great volleyball games. The women's do, and then of course the basketball game, they always play it right before the boys at USF, and in fact they're playing tomorrow night in the second half of the round robin. It'll be SI and Sacred Heart Cathedral at Sacred Heart Cathedral. That game starts at 6:30, and I think it's a great idea to have a women's sports rivalry trophy with Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see that in the future. I'm looking forward to it if it ever happens.
What do we call that, Sean? The Sister Francis / from the Sacred Heart side, you got to get Sister Francis in there, don't you? SI basketball underneath their own basket. Ren Robinson takes the inbounds pass from Ben Davis. Now SI has 15 seconds to shoot, working a little bit of offense. Davis to Trammell. Cross-court pass. Ben Sayufi's 2 out of 2. He misses that one, and a foul's going to be called on Teddy Schneider. Teddy Schneider did not have the inside position. SI up to 5 team fouls now, and it'll be a Serra basketball. Teddy Schneider has 2. Beckman and Redmond back into the game. Ben Sayufi hit 2 out of 3 from three-point land. He goes off the court, as does Ben Davis. McCarrick in the backcourt, good ball handler. He takes it across the timeline. You have to be very careful when you're working against Darian Trammell. Little backdoor cut, not there. McCarrick has trouble with it. And Chuck Rapp is going to use his 3rd timeout. Serra only has 2 timeouts remaining in this game. He did it to save the possession. SI with a 17-point lead, a minute 42 to go before halftime.
I think this is one of the first games that Darian is actually highlighted most for defensive plays instead of offensive plays this year. Been very amazing with it, how he's been guarding Park McDonald in this game and has shut him down.
That's a good point. Trammell only has 3 points all in the first quarter, but playing terrific defense. Quick look at the boys and girls basketball, WCAL. The girls, Middies 5-0, and trust me on this one, they will finish 10-0 in league. They are just so loaded. It's not even funny. Scored over 100 points against Presentation the other night. SI and SH playing tomorrow night. Big game on Ellis Street for the girls. Both teams are 3-2. The winner of that game will take over second place. Prez is 2-3. Valley Christian St. Francis 1-4. Of course, the boys, the Bells lead it at 8-1. St. Francis 7-2. SI and Midi 5-4. Serra 4-5. Going to the basket for the Padres was Henry James. He couldn't get it to go. Another strong defensive possession for the Wildcats. Trammell, Beckman. Trammell uses a pick from Teddy Schneider. A pick and roll. Teddy Schneider layup, no good, but he draws a foul. Teddy Schneider will get to the foul line to shoot two.
Well, what a pass from Trammell. He split right through the defense, right to Teddy Snyder. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish, but beautiful pass.
DR Usel picks up the foul. That's his second. 5 team fouls on both teams, and Teddy Schneider will shoot two. Schneider shot the free throws very well on Tuesday night against Sacred Heart Cathedral. He splits them here. He's got 5 points in the game. Parker McDonald has not gotten started in this ball game yet. He has no points.
He doesn't look confident at all right now.
Here's Brandon Beckman with the steal. Beckman going strong to the bucket with the left hand, lays it in. Brandon Beckman with a brilliant move at the bucket. He's got 10 points, and the Padres throw it away.
Boy, oh boy, the Padres are just looking terrible right now.
What a heck of a move by Brandon Beckman.
Yeah, that was pretty
good. Had
good.
to reverse it to the left hand to get an angle, put it in over 2 defenders. Cats with a 20-point lead, 52 seconds to go in the quarter. Darian Trammell will trigger. That was a good call, Alex. Darian Trammell is playing the best I've ever seen him play by only scoring 3 points, but he's just playing terrific out there. He's the leading scorer. He's not looking for a shot tonight. He has completely shut down Parker McDonald. Ren Robinson can't get it to go. Denzel McCullum with the rebound. Parker McDonald now picked up by Matt Redmond. Parker McDonald's going to go strong to the hole, and on cue, Parker McDonald with his first bucket in the ball game.
He's been asking for that shot for a long time.
SI with a chance for the final shot of the half. 18-point lead. Clock down to 13 seconds. Beckman, Robinson, and here's Trammell with 8 seconds, 7 seconds, and a foul. But it's only the 6th team foul, so SI will take the ball out of bounds. DR Usel picks up his 3rd. Chuck Rapp is going to make wholesale substitutions. Cooper Fitz with his first action. Dominic Bartletsky also into the game for the first time, so SI has 6 seconds to shoot here. Ren Robinson. And the pass is wayward, trying to get it to Trammell. It goes out of bounds, so Padre basketball.
This will have to be quick for Serra right here.
4 seconds. Parker McDonald's going to shoot one from around half-court area. Parker McDonald for 3. Not a bad try, but in the end, too strong. Halftime score, SI 35, the Padres 17. Don't forget our halftime interview. Sean Lahan had a chance to sit down with SI student body president Michael Lundgren and the progress made on starting a women's sports rivalry trophy series with Sacred Heart Cathedral. We're at halftime, Cats by 18, the SI Sports Network on High School Cube.
So I'm here with Michael Lundgren. He's a varsity cross-country runner for SI, and he's also SI student body president. Now, over the years, there's always been talk about having a women's trophy that is similar to the Bruce Mahoney Trophy, celebrating the rivalry between SI and Sacred Heart Cathedral. And we're going to talk about what's been going on with that subject, because both student councils of both schools have been actively involved in discussing establishing a women's trophy. So, Michael, let's talk about why this came into being. There's always a conversation about the girls getting a trophy or being part of the Bruce Mahoney rivalry. What's happening this year, and why is there, it seems to be picking up a lot of heat?
Well, over the past couple years, many students have expressed a desire to start a women's trophy. And from our perspective, the male athletes who participate in the 3 sports have this amazing opportunity to play in a huge game that's a big San Francisco tradition and is also a big event for community building within SI and SHC. And so our whole thing is we would like to provide our female athletes with a similar opportunity so that they can feel like they're a part of the tradition at both schools and that they have their chance to be recognized on equal footing as their male counterparts for doing just as much work.
Now, recently you did a student survey with the entire student body chiming in on should we have another trophy? Should we start a new trophy? Should we have a trophy that's one combined trophy? So tell me what happened in that survey and what were the outcomes?
Yeah, so we had 80% of the student body participate in the survey, which is much better than SI averages 40 to 60% when they normally send out a survey. We got 80%. Overall, 88% of students at SI support a women's trophy. 91% of female athletes support a women's trophy. And when we looked through some of the comments, what we found was that most people would prefer to start something new and different because we want to preserve the integrity of the Bruce Mahoney because it's such a great tradition. But we think students think it's important to start something new for the girls.
And you've been meeting with Sacred Heart Cathedral Student Council, the SI Student Council, about a women's trophy. And what have you guys been talking about? What have you brought up in those meetings, and what do they think?
Yeah, so we had our first meeting back in October, and at the end of that meeting was when we decided that we needed some more information. So we undertook our survey, SHC undertook their survey, we surveyed students, we surveyed coaches, and overall we found an overwhelming amount of support for a women's trophy. Obviously, there have been concerns expressed about making sure that we're not changing the Bruce and the tradition of Bruce and Mahoney having served in World War II together. So we've had to work around those. But we recently had a meeting, and SHC and SI, both parties have agreed that we should start a women's trophy next year. We have not worked out the exact details of what that trophy will look like yet. That'll be decided later on in the year, but we've both come to the agreement that this is something that we should do and that it's time for our communities to take this step.
Have you talked about a format? Will it be a best of 3 and what 3 sports? Or will it be best of 5? Or have you decided who the trophy will be named after, a student or an alum from either school, or just a name that represents San Francisco?
Well, we've certainly considered many options. One of the things that we've talked about is beginning with a one-sport trophy and then building off of that in future years. A coach suggested having a trophy that rotates amongst different sports to try to incorporate all of this, as many sports as we can, to this tradition. But one of the things that we've decided on is that the trophy is an important part, but what's even more important is that we incorporate something that celebrates women. So there will be a community service aspect that's going to be integrated into the trophy, as well as educational opportunities along with, Spirit Week rallies. But right now we're looking, one of the ideas we've had is doing volleyball, basketball, and softball, sort of similar to the Bruce Mahoney. We've also discussed doing a one-sport trophy and rotating it between different sports. But those are the decisions about what it will look like will be made between now and our third meeting at SHC in January.
Any names for it?
So name-wise, we've discussed giving it a generic name like the Golden Gate Games, something that ties it to San Francisco. Many people have suggested naming it after 2 people who played an important part in making both schools co-ed, or 2 notable female graduates. There's also been suggestions about notable female athletes. Shannon Robury's an Olympic athlete who went to SHC. So there's lots of different options.
Where would you like to see this in 5 or 10 years from now?
Well, in 5 or 10 years, I would like to see this as something that's a focal point of each school's school year and each school's community, and something where It's an opportunity for our two schools as Catholic institutions to come together and celebrate who we are and what we stand for. Especially in the climate that we see today, it's important that SI and SHC say that we support our female athletes, and we think it's important that we give them greater recognition. And I hope that this trophy not only enriches the athletic traditions at both schools, but helps to enrich the overall school community and include people who may not even participate in sports, and that it becomes something where we have a new tradition for the schools to celebrate.
Did you know that St. Ignatius has 66 teams in 15 sports and close to 100 clubs and performing arts activities for students? Some of these activities include dance, drama, choral, orchestra, video production, and finance. Our yearbook, The Ignatian, started in 1910, and our student newspaper dates back to 1920. Did you know that the average class size at SI is 25 students, with more than half of our entire student body being students of color? Did you know that affinity clubs like the Black Students Union, the Association of Latin American Students, and the Asian Students Coalition have been part of SI for 5 decades? Did you know that SI has students from 7 Bay Area counties with over 100 grammar schools represented in each class? SI is in the top 1% in the nation in advanced placement exams taken, with the pass rate 20% higher than the global average. On the SATs, SI students' average scores are 254 points higher than the national average. Did you know that 93% of SI students participate in the spiritual retreat program? And the class of 2017 averaged over 160 hours of community service for each student. This year, we will distribute $4.3 million to 22% of SI students, with the average financial aid grant being $13,400. Did you know that the Father Sauer Academy is our new tuition-free middle school that serves students of all faiths from low-income families? Did you know SI's Girls Who Code Club and the robotics team are helping prepare students for today's workforce, and that these clubs are mentored by adults and SI alumni currently working in tech? Did you know upon graduating from SI, the members of the class of 2017 were awarded $27.9 million in college scholarships? I'm SI teacher, volleyball coach, and former Magis student Jen Curtin, SI class of 2004. To learn more about St. Ignatius, log on to siprep.org and click About Us. That's siprep.org and click About Us.
That was our friend Jen Curtin with that last spot, talking about the Magis program here at St. Ignatius. Volleyball coach. Her brother is the basketball coach at Reardon High, and Reardon has a 42-31 lead at halftime over Sacred Heart Cathedral. St. Francis 34-29 over Mitty. Valley Christian and the Bells, close game. Bells with a 34-30 lead at halftime there. And a great interview, by the way, with SI Student Body President Michael Lundgren. We have Ray Balcura and Ronan Kramer with us now, and I think it'd be real cool if the women could start kind of a Bruce Mahoney rivalry with Sacred Heart Cathedral.
Yeah, the 3 meetings between the 2 schools on the boys' side to form the Bruce Mahoney now are 3 of the best days of the year in terms of community events and going to the games with your friends and schoolmates, and I think it'd be great to add to that.
And also, both of these schools are ranked top 20 in the state of California in volleyball this year. That's one of the sports. It just adds to the competition. It would be a great event for the school.
I'm with you, Ronan. The SISH volleyball games are always just something spectacular. There's Teddy Schneider, speaking of spectacular, with the left hand. He's got 7. Cats add to the lead. It's a 20-point lead. SI had a 7-point lead at the end of the first quarter. SI outscored Serra 17-6 in the second quarter. A 35-17 lead at halftime is now 37-17 Wildcats. And again, more good defense from SI.
Yeah, all game long, the defensive intensity has really been up a notch for the Cats. Just grabbing balls and diving on the floor. Great to see.
10 turnovers by Serra, only 3 for SI. If you have a turnover ratio like that, you deserve to be up by this much.
Owen Jennings providing us some stats. Ronan will give us some of those halftime stats as we go along here in the third quarter. Here's Denzel McCullum with the left hand too strong. Matt Redmond clears it. Here's Darian Trammell. Trammell just 3 points in the first quarter, but he sets up Teddy Schneider. Pulled the string on that one. Paul Best gets the rebound.
Yeah, tonight and in the midi game, Trammell has been a little quieter than usual. Let's see if he can get back to his usual self.
Here's an open look, but missed by Henry James. Beckman. Here's Trammell going strong to the bucket, but good defense by Serra. Matt Redmond open for 3, can't get it to go.
And speaking of Redmond, that's one of his only misses tonight. This is a huge game for him. He grew up on the peninsula. He played with a lot of these Serra guys. So the Serra game has always meant just a little bit more to Matthew Redmond.
Here's a miss from Parker McDonald, but Denzel McCullum is there to follow it up. McCullum has 5 points for the Padres. Kind of a, I'm not going to call it a critical couple of minutes here, but you really don't want Serra to get a sniff at this one. You just kind of want to put him away as strong and as quickly as you can. Chuck Rapp's teams never give up, so you just don't want to give him an inch. But there's Matt Redmond hitting a tough jumper. He's got 6 points.
And if you look back on the Wildcats in the past couple games, the mid to late third quarter has almost been their soft spot. They get a little too relaxed. If you look at the midi game, look at the first Bellarmine game, St. Francis, they almost let games almost get away from them in the third quarter and then spend all their energy fighting back in the fourth. Granted, with a lead this big, I wouldn't expect them to lose the lead, but
Parker McDonald misses Trammell with the rebound, and that's, to your point, that's exactly what happened against Sacred Heart Cathedral the other night. They could never really catch up. Beckman in the corner. Nice move by Beckman. Step back, drill a 3. Beckman has 13 to lead all scorers.
And it's moves like that that have made him commit to the University of Chicago, where he'll be playing ball next year.
And that sequence was off a deflected pass. It kind of luckily bounced to Beckman, and he was able to create his own shot.
Denzel McCullum the other way for the Padres. Here's Darian Trammell putting a little shake and bake, showing his handles. He gets to the bucket. Darian Trammell has 5 points. McCullum, wide open look from Paul Bess. He misses. Trammell with a terrific outlet pass, leading Teddy Schneider. Parker McDonald gets there. It's a turnover, but that's a strong attempt at a great pass by Darian Trammell. And now here's the turnover. Brandon Beckman ahead of the pack. Beckman, a lob to Teddy Schneider off the backboard. You gotta be kidding me.
What a play.
Teddy Schneider with the dunk on the brilliant assist from Brandon Beckman. And the Padres throw it away, and the beach party is beginning here on Bob Drucker Court.
That might be the most exciting play Bob Drucker Court has ever seen, at least lately.
Oh, definitely.
Wow. Brandon Beckman with a little showtime off the backboard. Teddy Schneider was there, and Brandon Beckman's got a big old smile on his face right now, standing right in front of us. Padres just threw that ball away. I've never really seen a Chuck Rapp team rattled like this, and now after a great play, Matt Redmond loses it out of bounds. But boy, we'll be talking about that dunk for a while here on beach night.
Yeah, it might take a couple possessions here to settle down.
Get out the surfboards and wraps. This is going to be a beach party for the last 12 minutes of this game.
The Cats with a 25-point lead. Danny Dunleavy gets it down low. Turning and missing was Colin McCarthy, and now a foul on the Padres. Colin McCarthy missed a cripple and now called for a foul on the rebound. Second foul on McCarthy. First foul in the second half. Rob Marcoletti's team came to play tonight. Trammell, Teddy Schneider, strong to the hole. Can't get it to go. Rebound on the floor comes to the Padres. McCarrick with a nice move. McCarrick's going to go to the bucket, dish it off nicely.
Trammell is ready for the block there. You could see it in his eyes. And then when they made a smart pass, he just let in the layup. 23-point
lead for SI. Here's Beckman. Redmond, now Ren Robinson with it. Beckman, long three. Brandon Beckman misses that one. The rebound comes to Williams Choa for the Padres. Here's a steal. Matt Redmond with a steal, working with Trammell. Redmond with an offensive foul. He took it a little too deep. Matt Redmond with the player control. Padre basketball.
And just generally, this is the type of performance that Rob Marcoletti expected out of this team when he looked at the roster before the game. Before the season. Many of these players had significant roles last year, and if they can take this type of performance and bottle it up before CCS, that'd be a great thing to do.
So McCarrick gets it across the timeline. Substitutions for the Cats. Neal Begovic checks back in. Ben Davis into the game for SI. Danny Dunleavy with it for the Padres. This is Williams Choa working against Ben Davis. 7 seconds to shoot. Ben Davis with a steal. Ben Davis into the front court, around the back. Beautiful pass to Begovic for the layup. Begovic with 4. What an assist by Ben Davis. Nice move to the bucket by Colin McCarthy. McCarthy's got 8. Gotta love that pass right. Ben Davis a moment ago setting up Neal Begovic.
Yeah, and Begovic has been a great contributor to the Cats, especially on the defensive and rebounding side of the ball. And it's nice to see him score a little bit more on offense, and continuing on to next year, he'll be one of the Wildcats' key players.
Yeah, missed a lot of the preseason, but playing much, much better in WCAL play, getting a lot more minutes, and you're right, setting himself up for a big senior season. And now a loose ball foul is called on the Cats. They got Ren Robinson with that one.
And if you saw some of their games earlier in the season, it was clear that height was their disadvantage. And ever since adding Begovic, it's almost like this offense has just been completely different. They're getting more rebounds. They're going to the post more often. I think it's great.
Brandon Beckman back into the game. He provided the assist of the night, maybe the assist of the season for Brandon Beckman on a brilliant backboard pass to Teddy Schneider. You got to clip that one on the high school cube tonight. That was just brilliant. Here's Darian Trammell. Good defense. We're going to have a jump ball. That's real good defense from Dylan McCarrick that time, forcing the jump ball on Trammell. And again, props to Darian Trammell, guys. He's only got 5 points in the game, but for only 5 points, he's playing awfully well in every other facet of the game tonight.
Yeah, and Trammell's always going to give you explosive rebounds. He's always going to give you great outlet passes. And it's just been a little bit quiet on offense, but with the score the way it is, that's not really an issue tonight.
And that's what's scary about the Cats. Even when Darian Trammell isn't playing his best, they're still up 20 on a very good Serra team.
Henry James with his first bucket. Nice move with the left hand by Henry James. Cats by 21, 1:15 to go here in the third. Beckman. Donovan Jones. Darian Trammell for 3! Darian Trammell! Chance for a 4-point play. Well, guys, we said he only had 5 points in a second here. He's going to maybe have 9. Darian Trammell, chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah, and we've seen that quick, explosive scoring all season long.
Into the lineup for the Padres, number 15, Cooper Fitz.
Chuck Rapp starting to clear the bench a little bit. Cooper Fitz comes in. He'll probably play out the last minute here, take a big push at it early in the fourth quarter, and they can't get it to go. Maybe SI can coast home. Right now they have a 24-point lead. McCarrick. Henry James now gets it stripped away. Another great steal and another great pass by Darian Trammell with the left hand, Ben Davis.
Tone it down, Mr. Davis. What a shot.
Ben Davis has 4. What a pass by Trammell. Darian Trammell and Ben Davis putting on a show. And now a foul in the backcourt is on Dylan McCarrick.
Coming off a block by Begovic, just showing again how important he is on the defensive end.
What a pass by Trammell, that long bounce pass. Absolutely brilliant. Ben Davis, front court, Ren Robinson. Beckman now. Shot clock and game clock are pretty much synced up. There's 24 seconds to go. Wide open look. Donovan Jones can't get it to go. And a foul. No, out of bounds. Out of bounds. Give the ball to the Wildcats. Cats with a 26-point lead will have a chance for the final shot. Ben Sayufi checks in for the Cats.
Number 24, Ben Sayufi, replaces Donovan Jones.
Ben Sayufi triggers it into Ben Davis. Ben Davis playing one of his best games of the season so far. Spectacular layup a moment ago. 7 seconds. SI's got to go. They got to go quickly. Davis into the key. Nice pass. Begovic, offensive foul before the bucket. So Ben Davis goes a little too deep, and with less than a second, the Padres will have a chance for a half-court heave. SI is going to take a 53-27 lead into the fourth quarter. SI wins that quarter 18-10. Very impressive outing for the Wildcats thus far. You are watching the SI Sports Network on High School Cube.
St. Ignatius College Preparatory is a Catholic Jesuit school serving the San Francisco Bay Area since 1855. Through a rigorous and integrated program of academic, spiritual, and co-curricular activities, St. Ignatius challenges its students to lead lives of faith, integrity, and compassion. Students are enriched by a diverse and loving Christian community and are called to become lifelong learners who develop their individual talents for the greater glory of God. With a commitment to intellectual excellence, leadership, service, and justice, we strive to be men and women for and with others, responding courageously to the opportunities and challenges of our time. Courage to lead, passion to serve.
We're back here at McCullum Gymnasium, Bob Drucker Court. SI playing maybe one of their best games of the season thus far. SI had a 7-point lead at the end of one, an 18-point lead at halftime. Right now, SI with a 26-point lead at 53-27. You know, did a little research on Serra before the game tonight. One of my favorite Serra players over the years, Henry Caruso, now plays for the Santa Clara Broncos, my alma mater. So a shout out to Henry Caruso. And of course, the leading all-time scorer for Serra Padre basketball is none other than Mr. Tim Kennedy, class of 95. A lob to Begovic, and he lays it in.
And you know what?
Begovic has 6 points in the game. Just finished my thought on Tim Kennedy. Of course, he's the head coach of the Mighty Monarchs, the all-time leading scorer for the Serra Padres.
And possibly the biggest contributor for the Cats tonight won't even show up on the box score. This student section has really changed the tempo at times of this game. There they are again. And I wish we could have the student section for every game. If we had the student section for every game, we probably would get a win or two more per year at home. I think it's crucial.
That's a good call. Ben Davis, it's a layup line for the Cats. Ben Davis went in uncontested for really a pretty easy layup. Here's a nice move by Denzel McCullum, has 9. Ben Davis has 6. And I like your call. Let's sell this baby out every night.
Especially St. Francis still sitting on our schedule. It's a huge game. If we get some students out for that, that'd be great.
You know, back in my day, we had a lot more players and a lot more people at these games, but to be honest with you, there was a lot fewer sports. Everybody is so busy these days. Ben Sayufi, 3 out of 4 from three-point land. He has 9. Colin McCarthy going to the bucket. Neal Begovic with a strong rebound. Brandon Beckman, Ben Sayufi wide open. Back rim. Ben Sayufi 3 out of 5 from three-point land. Denzel McCullum with the left, hooping the harm. Denzel McCullum, chance for a three-point play. Yeah, a 29-point lead with 6:16 to go. Who would have thought that? And the student section on fire tonight.
Yeah, and this game is obviously going to draw a lot of students because it's Serra, and means a lot for the Peninsula kids. But also it shows you what some marketing can do. Make this the beach game, have everyone dress up, everyone shows up and is loud.
Are you going to be a business major? I like that. 12 points in the game for McCollum. Of course, the jungle game is a little bit more famous. We have to admit it here at SI. The jungle game been going on since 1975. Serra has always been very successful in the jungle game down at Serra. SI did win the game this year, and many years ago, Bob Drucker said, yeah, it's going to be a tough game at Serra. It's a jungle down there, and that was the genesis of the jungle game. And here's a layup by Dylan McCarrig. McCarrig with the bucket. He's got 4 points. And Serra keeps a long history of the jungle game. If you go to the Serra website, they've got the score of every jungle game since 1975 posted under a link, jungle game. So Serra takes it very seriously. There's no doubt about that. Darian Trammell gets fouled. That'll be a common foul on the floor, and SI will have the ball out of bounds. Have you guys been to a jungle game?
Not yet.
I have not.
Oh,
no.
You got to go next year?
Yeah, I'll go next year.
Well, you'll be a senior next year. What about you, Ronan?
I'll probably go my senior year, which is 2 years from now.
Oh, you're a sophomore? Okay, yeah,
Yes.
you got to. You just absolutely have to. It is electric down there, and strange things happen. Just last year, Parker McDonald hit a fadeaway 3 at the last second to win the game for Serra. It really is a lot of fun and an electric atmosphere. Teddy Schneider, with a workmanlike move, is going to get to the foul line to shoot 2. We'll try and get you some updates around the league. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the girls are traveling across town. Sacred Heart Cathedral and SI will do battle on Ellis Street. That game is at 6:30. Teddy Schneider has double figures now with 10 points. Brandon Beckman leads the Wildcats with 13. Denzel McCullum leads the Padres with 12. Teddy misses the second. McCarthy into the front court. Denzel McCullum loses the ball. Again, Matt Redmond stood tall, forced a turnover.
Yeah, on his 3 years on varsity, Matt Redmond has just been an outstanding defensive player.
Ren Robinson to Darian Trammell. 5 minutes to go. SI with a 27-point lead. Sayufi down low. Teddy Schneider gets to the bucket and scores. Teddy Schneider has developed a ton of moves around the basket. He's the one Wildcat that does not shoot a 3, does not get near the 3-point line. All of his buckets are down low. Another steal from Matt Redmond. Up ahead to Trammell. Trammell's going to shoot a 3 off the rim and no good. Even Neil Begovic will step out and shoot a 3. Here's a long pass down court. Paul Best loses it. Back the other way. Redmond's going to slow it down.
You know what, Casey? When we were down 47-0 during the football game, you told me wait until basketball season. Well, here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, we talked about the Serra football team. They won the WCAL, they won the CCS, they won the NorCal, and they won the State Division II AA championship. They beat Cajon from Southern California. You know, St. Francis in the league also won a state championship.
Wow.
Donovan Jones and Ren Robinson playing catch. Ben Sayufi's been hot tonight with 3 threes, and now we have a whistle away from the ball. Darian Trammell with an offensive foul. Third foul. 5 team fouls on the Wildcats, 5 team fouls also on the Padres. McCarrig, Colin McCarthy, This is Dominic Bartolowski with a look. He can't get it to go. Colin McCarthy does follow it up. He's got 10 points. SI's going to clear the bench a little bit. We'll see Brad Lay coming into the game. Ben Davis coming back in. And Ren Robinson with his second three-pointer in the game. He's got 6 points. And a pass thrown out of bounds. Colin McCarthy was looking for Cooper Fitz. And both teams starting to clear the bench a little bit.
Ross Klein checking into the game.
Ross Klein, the junior, checking in. Also is Sam Nangle. A 30-point lead. So SI will move to 6-4 in WCAL play, 13-7 overall, and an offensive foul called.
Looks like they've reversed the call.
Dylan McCarrick with the foul. So Donovan Jones into the front court for the Wildcats. This is Sam Nangle. He played some minutes against Sacred Heart Cathedral the other night. Had a couple of points. Ren Robinson. Bradley had a touch. Down low to Ross Klein. Klein gets it stripped away. Tough shot from Danny Dunleavy. So again, a big win tonight for the Wildcats. SI's schedule next week in San Jose at Valley Christian. The next home game, we will be on the air next Friday night against St. Francis. Reardon comes calling on February the 13th, and they finish the season at Bellarmine. So
those last three games are going to be very big.
SI goes to 6-4. The three-pointer from Donovan Jones, no good. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Dylan McCarrick into the front court. There's a three-pointer. Patrick Simon into the game for the first time, and Patrick Simon has his first bucket. It's a three. SI's going to use a timeout. Aiden Kelly is going to come into the game when we come back to action. Timeout used simply to get a player into the game, so we'll get right back to the action. Aiden Kelly in for the Wildcats. Ren Robinson leaves the floor with 6 points. Ben Davis. Trouble with the dribble. Wide open is Ross Klein for three!
That's a nice bucket by Klein right there.
Ross Klein with his first bucket. It's a three.
They're calling it a 2 now.
No, we don't have to say anything. We'll just keep it as a three. Donovan Jones trying to get it to Ross Klein, but Dominic Bartolowski makes the play for the Padres. Coming up on a minute to go, SI with a 29-point lead and a foul on the Wildcats. Patrick Simon will get to the foul line. So SI goes to 13-7, 6-4 in league play. We gave you that upcoming schedule. Very important for SI to finish strong in league, get into that open division, and then start your CCS with a march towards the state championships.
Yeah, and if they continue to play like this, as I said earlier, teams are going to be scared of facing the Cats.
Definitely do some damage. I think as long as they beat either St. Francis or Bellarmine, they have a good chance of CCS having a good CCS seed.
Ross Klein with the rebound. Patrick Simon has 4 points in the game. Davis can't get it to go. Sam Nangle fighting hard. Nangle up, no good. Ben Davis working hard. Wide open look, back rim bouncing, no good. Brad Lay had a chance. SI with another rebound. Aiden Kelly can't get it to go. Reverse layup is no good. Nice rebound by Sam Nangle. Nangle working in the backcourt. We're under 30 seconds to go in this one. And SI's going to win this game in a huge victory over the Padres. 20 seconds to go now. SI does not have to shoot it. We're just going to let it run out here on the beach game. The cheering section was huge tonight, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, they showed up in full force, and they had plenty to cheer about from the first quarter when we were starting off on an 11-2 run.
So the final seconds are going to tip away, and SI is going to win this game 68-40 is your final score. SI led from the opening tap. They never trailed. They dominated a very good Serra Padre team tonight. Maybe the best win of the year, the most complete win of the year for Rob Marcoletti's team was tonight. SI wins this ball game 68-40. They go to 6-4 in league play, all by themselves in third place.
Yeah, just a huge win. I'm sure SI expected to win this game. I'm not sure they expected to win in this fashion, and this should give them a lot of momentum going forward into the rest of league play.
Well, props this Wildcat team. They lost games to Midi and Sacred Heart where they're SI is ranked higher than those teams, the Max Preps, the Chronicle. They had to go into those games expecting a win. They lost. They came out here and they dominated. This team just fights on. Gotta love it.
So a nice celebration out by the foul line there as the student section greets the players, and it's a big win here for the Knights. Congratulations to head coach Rob Marcoletti coming over to saying hi. As mentioned, SI goes to 6-4 in league play, 13-7 overall. Thanks, guys. What a performance tonight. We had a lot of participation with a lot of great students. Ray, thank you very much at the end here, and Ronan, that was terrific. Great analysis. Sean Lahan gets us on the air. Thanks again for that, as always. Our next game on the SI Sports Network on the Cube is next Friday night, February the 9th, 7:20, with the SI boys basketball team against the St. Francis Lancers. Until then, stay connected with SI Athletics on our Twitter feed at SI